It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We're so excited. We have TV host and blogger Yanina Oyarzo in. We are going to discuss when to match, how to meet IRL, and we are going to give you a guide to gifting. So fun, all while we sip our nightcap, the Mistletoe Mule. Tonight on It's Complicated.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hello, Master Daters. Welcome back for an all-new episode of It's Complicated.
The struggle is real when you're dating in the city.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Lauren.
Stop it.
I'm not Jen.
Oh my God. Well, you are not, but today you are actually you.
I am actually me, and it's also beginning to look a lot like Christmas and Jen's birthday, guys. And I got Jen a present prematurely because I got so excited. And just so you know, it says, to Jen, love.
Not Jen.
Not Jen. That's what it says on the tag. So
it's
there.
So good.
I couldn't let it go. I wasn't ready to let it go, you guys.
No, I like that you stay true to what you believe in. And guys, as Lauren said, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So today we're going to discuss the optimal times for swiping in December, how to meet your match IRL, and a gifting guide for all your special little elves with TV host and blogger Yanina Oyarzo.
We are so excited, you guys. Yanina is a Venezuelan-American lifestyle influencer, and she shares her beauty tips and tricks and fashion tips and adventures on multiple platforms. She uses her core values of light, love, and confidence, which we also subscribe to target ambitious young women like herself.
And she aspires to turn her childhood passion for beauty and music into a career in TV hosting, which is great that we have her on our show and she can test out her chops.
That's right.
And she moved here, guys, in 2011 from Miami, where we know I am also from, where she was working in music management, and she actually helped build a firm that did just that, and it was home to several chart-topping songwriters, producers, and artists, which opened the door for her to broaden her network in the industry. And as she transitioned from music to television, she began her own YouTube channel, which has a boatload of subscribers and amazing videos, and she created her own content.
So fabulous. And her fast-growing social media following quickly landed her partnerships with some brands that you might have heard of, like American Express, Nike, Uber, Laura Mercier, Urban Decay, Adidas, and more. I have like something from every single one of those things.
All the best things. I definitely have an Amex, and it is... They just keep increasing that limit.
Hey, man, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Sure is. Anyway, guys, Yanina's goal is to help young girls reach their full potential and feel confident in their own skin by embracing their beauty, both inside and out. And she is both beautiful inside and out.
So. And I think that that's totally like core what you should think about and focus on when you're dating. Like, focus on yourself and your inner beauty and like find that within you in order to share it with somebody else. We'll get into the dating tips and tricks later, but first we need a drink because we wanted to inject a little Latin flair into our drink tonight, appropriately so. So we are having a Mistletoe Mule. It is tequila and Zevia, ginger ale Zevia. If you guys haven't tried this brand before, you have to, because it's all natural and no calories, no sugar, and it tastes exactly like ginger ale. Plus, we need a little help with this tequila because it is strong. I poured it a little. I was a little stiff. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but you have a heavy hand. But also, this ginger ale is very sweet, so it's almost like I don't taste the tequila.
It's good. It's like La Croix's cousin, okay? And we are we're using this tonight because we want to get a little Blitzend hardcore. So, Feliz Navidad. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's pretty good. I mean, listen, tequila's hard, but this is pretty good.
What else is good is the two podcasts we were on last week.
Oh, my God.
So, guys, in case you missed it, we were on Sex with Emily's new Sirius XM show during its premiere week.
Wow.
On Sirius, it's a Sirius XM Stars 109. That's the channel. So if you have SiriusXM and you heard it, amazing. If you didn't, we will actually post the link to the episode in the description of this show, and you can totally check it out. Yes. Also, we were, since we're all about gifting right now, we give you the gift of yet another podcast we were on. We were on Rachel O'Brien's popular podcast, Be Here for a While, and you know her from Vanderpump Rules and comedy, and she's been on our show before, and we gave her all of the complicated lessons we could provide.
That's right. So take a listen to those. And we kept it complicated this past week when we were away Christmasing. My highlight was I made Jen leave a date to come meet me out at a bar because the date wasn't that great. So I was like, goodbye. Plus, we knew everyone at the bar. Like, I thought I was going to know one person at this birthday party, and it was like all the people. And so we just worked the room. But we're going to talk about this too, like when to match and when to swipe and how to meet people in real life. Like, I know the holidays are busy and you get tired, but like, find the holiday cheer in there somewhere, because we had a great time and there was a lot of people there. And, you know, sometimes it's fun to go out and just be around your friends. You don't have to go out with the goal of like meeting somebody, but then sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Just
go. The point is go.
Motivate, leave a date, and just go.
Motivate and leave a date.
Yeah, there we go. That's our new motto.
Yeah. And so, guys, I have been like totally overwhelmed with the dating apps. And so when Lauren said come out, I was like, perfect. I have actually made myself a goal to meet people in real life and sort of like leave it up to God at this point, or like the party circuit.
Yeah.
We're leaving it up to that. And so I went out with you, and then I also went to a red and green singles
Such a good idea.
party.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. So a girl had a birthday party. You had to wear red if you were taken, green if you were single, and then the single people find each other. The red people just talk to each other. And she even provided like opening one-liners that you could ask people or say to each other.
Cute.
It was really great.
Such a great idea.
So that was a lot of fun, and that's it. Getting ready for my birthday festivities.
Oh my God, we have presents here already.
So exciting. Thank you for those.
You're welcome.
Presents.
And we're also so excited because, you guys, her motto is aspire to inspire, and cuffing season and Christmas shopping is getting down to the wire. So please welcome to the studio, Yanina Oyarzo. Yay!
Hi! That's our audience.
Yay! How do you like your Mistletoe Mule? Is it...
So at first it was a little bit strong, but I think it
Yeah.
You warm up to it.
in.
After a couple of sips, you get into it.
Yeah,
and also
sure.
it's the only drink you have, so you have to drink
you don't
it.
have a
Yeah,
choice.
my palate just has to
It's like
understand it. Yeah.
You're assimilating to the environment. It's called survival of the fittest.
And we are those people. So
And that's what's happening.
We will survive. So thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good. Dealing with LA traffic, but,
You know, but that's the good thing about LA and the holidays. It clears out, and then it's like empty here. It's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Are you guys staying in town?
I am. You of all the travels.
I'm going all over the places, but right now it is not cleared out, and the traffic really sucks.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. Okay, so we're diving right in.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
To all things dating and relationships. What is the best date you've ever been on?
Oh, my God.
Have you been on a good date? We'll start with that.
Yeah.
That means if I wasn't in a relationship or already in a relationship.
It doesn't really
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
Like, anytime somebody that you liked took you out.
I think I've only been on dates like already in a relationship. I'm kind of like, you like me, I like you, okay, we're doing this. It's not like we don't like date.
Yeah.
Like type of thing. But then again, I've only been in like one serious relationship.
So, like, in that relationship, was there a date that stuck out?
Yeah, I'm pretty simple. So I think the one date that stuck out is the person used to do a lot of very like lavish things for me, and for me it was just like that wasn't like my love language, I guess. One thing that he did do is that he cannot cook for the life of him. So I remember walking into my house, not thinking anything of it. It was a regular day. He rented a huge circular table, and he ordered food from a chef because he couldn't cook. And the moment I walked in, it was like roses all down to like the middle of our living room. He had rented the table and like 2 chairs, everything. The funniest part was that I started laughing because when I walked in, the person that opened the door was his best friend at the time with like a handkerchief.
No.
And I was like, what are you wearing? And he's like, I'm not allowed to speak, just walk in. And he was like our waiter of the night.
Amazing.
And he had like champagne and everything. And it didn't take a lot of effort for him because I ended up finding out that his assistant said it all. But it was a thought that counted for me because he's like a very busy person. So the fact that he even figured out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
I don't need you to be 5 hours in the kitchen if you don't have the time. But you figured out how to compensate for the fact that you don't know how to cook. And that's
So he was like creative about it.
Yeah, and that was really like special
And then
to me.
the result was you got to spend quality time with him.
Yeah, which is
and like,
that's my love language. So it
that's
doesn't
your-
matter what we do as long as I have your time and your.
Did you think that you were getting proposed to?
I was already Yeah, I've been in a long-term relationship. I've been married before.
Okay.
So we were already there.
Okay.
But yeah, when I did get proposed to, though, I wasn't expecting it because I'm a very competitive person, and it was out of like a competitive game. But yeah.
So you were like focused somewhere else.
I literally passed him. And my best friend was like, "Hello, did you not see who was just right there?" And I turned around and I was like, "You won the game?" And then he was like, and I was like, long story short, it was a scavenger hunt around LA. So then I was like, "I didn't even tell you to come here. So you already figured out and you came here." And I started arguing.
Oh my God.
And he just started laughing and he was like, "You don't get it, do you?" And I'm like, "What?" And he was like, "Come here." And the moment he grabbed two of my hands, I was like, "What are you doing?" I started bawling, crying. Aww. Next thing you know, a jazz band starts playing.
From where?
It was at LACMA.
Oh, okay.
So he scheduled it where at LACMA on Thursdays, I believe, at 8 p.m., they start playing. So he scheduled it where when he was going to start grabbing me, they naturally played. So he got, a little budget cut.
Yeah.
Smart person. And then people started circling us. And then I looked around and I saw his best friend and my best friend filming. So I was like, oh, this is happening.
I just got chills.
Oh,
yeah, it was cute.
So cute.
Yeah, it didn't work out, but okay.
On to the next thing.
Okay,
but
so
still,
those are really
it was
things.
cute.
You should still celebrate those moments that you
sure.
like from your past relationships.
I actually told someone the other day that because I was talking about it and a guy who was in the group was like, "Do you want that?" And I was like, "No, but I still appreciate the moment that I lived that, Like, that's dope. That's cool."
Yeah, it's a nice sentiment. It makes you who you are.
Of course, 1,000%.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cute.
That is cute. Okay, so if you don't, like, necessarily go out a lot and do all that, like, how would you meet people? Are you, like...
I always meet everyone through mutual friends.
Now, is that by happenstance, or do you specifically put that out there, or you tell your friends, please set me up?
I've never been on a dating site. I've never Tinder, no, Bumble, none of that stuff, like Match.com. I told myself if I'm still single by the age of 40, 42, 43, I'll sign up to Match because I feel like they're very serious about their stuff.
Yeah, for
they're
sure.
like, when you sign up to Match, you're paying a fee. Like, you're like, I need to figure it out, like,
Yeah.
But before that, I don't know. I'm very picky. And the opposite sex annoys me a lot because I have a lot of male friends that I just see through the BS. So I don't care to sit and speak to you and know that you're lying to my face. And I'm just like, why are we playing this game right now?
Yeah, it's like you don't have the patience, and you have to wait for that moment when you meet someone and you feel like a spark or connection that makes you want to invest time to then see if you can trust. And
you have to mentally stimulate me for me to give you my attention.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm with you on that. I actually find witty banter to be like the most attractive thing. However, sometimes it gets a little too witty, and you're like, "Are we best friends?" I think we've lost the romance in this.
I have a tendency to be very good friend, like literally almost best friends with the people, and then I end up dating them. And like it'll go where I didn't see them in that light for 2 years, 3 years, and then one night out of nowhere I'm like, huh. So yeah.
And then what in that moment, so if that's a pattern for you, or that's how it happens for you, how do you address that? Are you like, I am feeling this way, or do you give like a vibe?
I know typically, how do I say this in a non-egotistic way? Because it's
no, you can say like, all the fucking things you want. Yeah.
No, but like 90% of the time, I know my guy friends think I'm attractive. So it's like, I know when they initially meet me, they're like, huh. But then I friend zone them, and I friend zone them a lot. So then we end up becoming friends. And then in that, it kind of separates into, you're actually a really good friend of mine. You're a really good friend of mine, but when I drink, we randomly, innocently flirt, even if you are my best friend, but I would never do anything with you. Or there's a type of like, you're probably not going to be in my life long as a friend or anything more because you're so, something about you is like, So... yeah, that's how I kind of like thin it out.
I think that's kind of a normal thing. A lot of women know, for the most part, that guys would probably take the bait if it was given. It's not every situation, but the majority of it is like that. So we also have to be careful to like, you're very conscious of making sure that you're not giving like tons of mixed signals, because then that's just confusing for everybody. So as long as you know what you want.
Yeah, and I'm not attracted to anybody like off the bat. Like, you could be the hottest person walking in the room, like, I'm not attracted to you. It takes a long time for me to actually like you.
I used to say that too. Like, it was rare for me. I don't know about you, but like, like, oh, that guy's cute, whatever. But like, if a hot guy walks in the room, it takes a lot for me to be like, like mouth open. Like it's like so far away. It feels so distant. And if you like mental stimulation, and we both do too.
Yeah, my long relationships have always been because, well, I've only had like technically one, but like my 4 like on and off relationship in high school too, like it wasn't, none of the people that I've liked at one point in my life has been because they're the hottest thing on earth. Not that they weren't attractive, but that wasn't the thing that kept me entertaining it.
Yeah.
It was more either their motivation, their way of being, how they treat people, their morals, like something in the way we talk and how we conversate about different topics. Like that's what kept me.
Like a natural chemistry almost to like whatever it is, if it's that you have a connection in like your communication or the things you like to do or your sense of humor, whatever it is, if you connect on that level, that's like way more than somebody just being hot. Because like, what do you do
all
with
my
that?
exes look totally different.
Yeah, mine are all over the board.
Mine are all brown haired and pretty similar. Not similar looking, but they all have brown hair. Going back quickly to the dating apps. So recently I've like kind of sworn off dating apps for the moment, but it's because it's like starting to feel more like a routine or a job or like just nothing.
Like a stress or something.
Yeah, and it's like feels so forced. Like feels like there's so little romance, and that's also why you start talking to somebody, you don't really care to keep talking to them, and the moment they say something you don't like, you sort of like give up on it and move on to the next person because there is no real connection. You're all just judging each other based on like
and
very
then
superficial
you don't know
stuff.
if you're, and then you have the stress. I remember on the dating apps, like giving up on somebody, but being like, ooh, did I just make the right choice? Like you don't put so much weight on it, but it's like
because
so
you're not
hard
friends
to
with
tell.
the person.
It's so hard
so it's
to
like,
tell.
Yeah, you actually care about the person and you think it through when you're actually friends with them.
That's true.
Like, do I want to cross that line? Because then if I lose them as a friend,
So your method to the madness is like meeting people in person and like sitting in a friendship for a second before you are ready to even think or play with the fact that this could be something else. And I like that because it's like,
the last person I liked, that's how it was. Like, I met them, and I was like, no way in hell will I ever like this person. Like, instantly, there was a lot of things that reminded me of my ex and him, and I guess it was because they're similar when it comes to work, and their personalities, the way they handle work. And I was like, I don't like that. And I remember I mentioned it to a friend, and I was like, I would never date him. So she went and ran and told him. And then I was like, why would you do that? Like, you never know what's going to happen.
yeah, now
and
you
then
totally iced me out.
No, and then, like, I started getting to know him on a deeper level rather than what he just shows to the public. And I ended up, like, really liking him. And I was like, crap. I just, like, contradicted myself. And that's another thing. That's a very Taurus thing, though. Very much a contradiction. And I was like, maybe I should keep my mouth shut next time.
How did you then try to let him know that like you were into him?
So when we first started being friends, from the bat, he liked me. Like, he liked me. He told everyone he liked me, like, that was around me, that knew me, to make it known, like, I'm interested in you. But I was just like, guys are gonna say that to anyone walking as long as
and you don't know what they really mean by like
right.
you.
Yeah,
like
back
do
in the
you
day.
want to F me? And like, let's be real. Do you want to just F me because you think I'm hot? Or is it that you're interested in getting to know me?
Totally
like,
different.
does he want a relationship? But it's not like
I feel like no
old-timey
guy
times.
is gonna come up off the bat though and say I want a relationship.
No, never.
Because they'll run away.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like though it depends like how old they are
But
and where they're at in their
true.
life.
If they want a relationship in general,
what they do
but
for a
with
living as
you,
well.
True, but if you are, they're not going to just be like, I want a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you have to get to know somebody for.
Right.
And somebody that does say, I want a relationship with you, right
They
off
don't
the
know what
bat,
they want.
They don't know. That's not, yeah. So I agree. Like, saying I want a relationship in general.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
anybody that looks at me and says I want a relationship with her because she has a pink Instagram and she looks like she has morals, I could be the craziest person behind closed doors. You know, like, I'd be like, no, I don't want a relationship with you at this point.
Yeah,
you said that.
exactly.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
Right. So do you have a lot of guys sliding into the DMs?
I have.
Is that the right phrase?
I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I have a lot, but there are a lot of like my supporters that I just don't know. Like today, a little kid commented on. I happened to catch it. He goes, "Can I shoot my shot?" And I never do this, but I looked at his profile. He's probably like 16,
Oh.
and I'm like, come on. But no, I have had some interesting people slide into my DMs, but I never open it.
And would you ever consider dating somebody? Like, I mean, have you ever saw someone and you're like, oh my gosh, that guy's kind of attractive.
Yeah,
He's kinda
for
cute.
sure.
Yeah.
There's one person that I guess I didn't know who they were, and I mentioned it to a friend, and I was like, He has verified. Do you know who he is? And I showed it to her, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, he was like a famous person of some sort.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Oh, I don't know. How'd you think? How do you not know?" And started telling me like all this stuff about him, and I was like,
well,
care.
Yeah.
But did you end up going out with him?
No, he actually doesn't live in LA. But I was nice, and he didn't say anything disrespectful, so I responded to it. And I was like, "Thank you, that's very nice, whatever." And we started like small talk, but yeah, he doesn't live in LA, so I'm just like, whatever.
I gotta say, I have two couple friends that are married from Instagram.
No.
Really?
Two.
My best friend, her boyfriend slid in her Facebook DMs.
That's weird. Who even opens Facebook?
But they've been dating. They were dating. She's 24 now. They were dating since she was 17.
Oh, okay.
God.
So
So
that
like,
was when
wow.
Facebook was more relevant.
Yeah,
Got
and then
it.
she met him in person 2 weeks later. You know, it's like when you buy the car, then you see the car everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he slid into her DMs, and she ran into him at a birthday party 2 weeks later, and then they started dating. It's like, so it works sometimes for people. You know?
Instagram's going to be a new dating app, guys.
I actually think it's better. Don't ask me why than a dating app, but it's more because I feel like it's targeted. Like that person found me instead of swiping aimlessly, hoping to land on me.
Well,
they went after me.
And you could also see if they have mutual friends, so you could do
Right.
a little
That-
like, hey, this
yeah.
person DM me. What do you think of them? You
Well,
know?
Yeah.
speaking of which, I have a date tomorrow night with a guy who slid into my DMs.
Oh my God.
I know. So the reason I said yes, totally, was because I clicked on his profile. It was private, but I saw a girl, like a close girlfriend of mine, is following him. So I wrote her,
Oh.
"Who's this?" And she says,
I do that so much.
Yeah.
When
But
they
not
like
even,
my
like-
picture
yeah.
or like,
Who
Yeah.
is this person?
Like-
yeah, I'm like, tell me details.
and
Stats.
she sends me back screenshots of photos of him. She says, I matched with him on a dating app. We never went out, but we had really good conversation.
Oh,
I
I
think
thought
you
you were
would
gonna say
like him.
something else.
I know. But she's like, you should at least go out with him once. So we're going out tomorrow night.
So, and that little piece of information is very helpful instead of just like a random person where there's not even, it's small piece of information, but it is
Context.
helpful.
It was a little context.
And if you're going to be on a dating app or whatever, then great, or Instagram, whatever. But you guys, the league has given us some statistics that we think we need to share during the holiday season.
Basically, your schedule for swiping.
Yeah, like when is a good time to swipe? So, gosh, this is kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
It's okay. So
December.
11th through the 13th are the best days to log in and swipe.
Okay, so guys, today
So
is
is
the
this
12th.
all on Tinder? Or
This
like,
is the league.
Or do all the apps
all the apps,
swipe?
basically.
Oh,
The
okay.
league took their own user statistics to make this, but I'm pretty sure it's probably
should apply.
similar across the board. You
And
guys-
then the best days to send a message are December 22nd, my birthday, send me one, through the 24th, right before Christmas.
And then the best time to exchange phone numbers, but I think this is also dependent on how much banter you've had before, is the 28th through the 30th.
And then
the date.
to go on a date after the new year, you come back the 4th through the 6th because that's the weekend, and you can talk about all the things you did over the holidays. You can talk about how you're breaking your detox by drinking, all the things on
You
a
guys,
date.
I met my boyfriend IRL through friends, and then we went out on our first date January 3rd.
Yep.
So it's almost like
cheers to
following that, you guys. Yeah,
So
it
there
was
is
great.
method for success there.
Yeah. So if you're going to meet someone on an app, but the goal is to meet someone IRL, then when you finally go out with them IRL, you can do some fun things. So there are some things that we're going to talk about really quick that might pay attention to, right? Some of these things might sound like your average thing, but like if you want to put yourself out there, I know that sounds very cliche to say, but just be aware when you're out places, like maybe put your phone down for a while. My doctor told me I was stressed out, and she said to only do one thing at a time for 1 hour of a day. Think about, you're always, especially women, right? We're always like, oh my God, multitasking. Like, I'm such a good multitasker. Well, that's great.
It's exhausting.
Sometimes just like do one fucking thing, right? Like we don't have to be like balancing plates and texting and on Instagram. Like if you're, for example, one of the things is like going to the post office, right? Like you can meet someone in line. The lines there are long. Like
Shipping gifts, all kinds of things you do at the post office, sending mail.
yeah, just whatever
the
you're
post
doing. But
office.
like maybe don't tell yourself like I'm not going to have my phone in my hand for that whole time I'm in line, and like see what who you could potentially meet. That's one place.
That is. Also, other like errands you should be doing instead of outsourcing. I know we have every app in the world to bring us things and do the things for us. But so like Lauren said, go to the mail place, mail your packages instead of like having them be picked up. Pick up coffee yourself. Go with your feet and go and stand in line.
With your feet.
Go there into the place, stand in line and get off your phone and order a coffee and look around and talk to people.
What would you do if a guy approached you at a coffee shop while standing in line?
I'm usually very nice, but I don't really want to ask them, so what was your childhood like?
Yeah, like you're not going to get into deep convo.
Like
then.
I'm always like, oh, okay, thanks. And then like it depends on my mood, honestly. If I'm in an okay mood, I'll be like, oh, so how's your day? But if not, if they tell me something, I'm like, thank you. Look forward.
Yeah,
okay.
You're like,
they probably have to say something that's actually going to intrigue you.
I will say one thing. I've been told I'm very intimidating when they don't know me, or like, and even by my own guy friends, they're like, you have this demeanor about you that if I'm not gonna go up to you and say something worthwhile, I shouldn't, because you're like, it's not that I'm a BS like dry person, but how is it, my friend worded it so nicely the other day. He was like, you just know I shouldn't play around with your type of women. And I was like, oh.
You're like, okay.
Well, then you're sending the right message.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's a good vibe.
But like, I'll be out with my friends and I'll get somebody approached to me every now and then. But I have this one friend. She gets approached she's also very free-spirited. I am, but not in a public setting. Like, I don't care to speak to you. I'm with my friends. Like, I'm good with this group, you know? Where she's like, she'll make a friend here, she'll get 3 dates there within a matter of 15 minutes. And one time I was like super bitter that night, and I was like, is there something wrong with me? Not that I even want those people to approach me, which is what I really had to sit down and be like, do you want those people to approach you? And I'm like, no.
But you were wondering in comparison to her why she was getting approached and you weren't. But it could be the vibe you're putting off.
It was. And at that night specifically, I was bitter about a situation that I had gotten into that day. So I was just not in the mindset. And I was like, okay, this is not I was like, if I had to do this every night, I'd be miserable. Because it's just, for me personally, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
But
also, there's some middle ground, I think, between being like kind of like shut off from the other people that you're not there with. I'm the same way, where I will like don't bother me. I came here with a mission. This is the mission. Abort. And so, but my new thing is to be more open to people coming up to me, because all we talk about and hear about is that people are now afraid to approach people in person because everyone relies on dating apps. But if we try and all reverse that, then maybe people go back to talking in person and asking each other out.
I feel like I always get approached by the weirdos, though.
Well,
the weirdos are out, though. It depends where you are.
It's a numbers game, too, Yanina. I feel like how many, I mean, there's going to be one person eventually in the end, or maybe just like a small few that really like get in with you. Yeah. And so you've got to allow those weirdos to come in and just like kind of let it roll off your back, because you want to have your eye on the prize, but being open and like receiving to any sort of energy is really probably the answer, because you have a good probably gauge to say like, I don't like that person, or so you're in control of that. So if someone comes up to you and you're out in real life and you're trying to put out the vibe welcoming, then just it's your job to say yes or no to whoever it is. But you want everyone to come, right?
Right. I think the options are great. Yeah. Also, it depends where you are. Like, again, like if you're in a club, probably not those people. Because why are those guys in a club? Go home and do a job.
What about like working out, right? Like it's the holiday season, taking a class.
If you came up to me while I was at the gym, I'd be like, you're annoying. Get the hell away from me.
Yeah, not the place.
Oh my gosh, you know what happened? Sorry, this has nothing to do with it. Maybe I shouldn't say it.
No, go for it.
Now
we need to know.
So I was at the gym with my best friend because she's like a fitness guru, so she always trains me.
Oh, fun.
And granted, yes, she has a lot of Instagram followers, but she's not an Instagram model. Neither am I. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not
that's not your jam.
Yeah. And we're working out, and we were waiting for this one machine. So then I was obviously filming her because she has a fitness app and all this stuff, whatever.
You're trying to help a sister out.
Exactly. And this guy's like, oh, you guys needed this machine, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, all right, I just finished it. You guys can go now, Instagram models. I swear, the episode of Mean Girls when she's in the cafeteria and she goes over and she's like, that was me. In my mind, I looked at her and she's like, Yanina, and she's like one to fight or like say something like, before me. And I was like, and she goes, stop. And I was like, who? No. No.
Well, it's just when someone, and this, like you just said,
it's
not
early in the morning. Like, don't do that.
I haven't had my coffee yet.
Yeah.
If it's someone's just trying to judge you and they don't know you, that's definitely not what to do when you're out in real life and you're trying to meet people.
No.
There's nothing wrong with an Instagram model. There's nothing wrong with accountant or whatever the fuck you do. But don't tell me that that's what I am when you don't know me. Like, now you're just basically looking at me.
It just showed me, like, you're so insecure. You're choosing a reason to target us when, even if you thought that was cute, it's not. So let me tell you that now. Like, do not do that.
So, guys, try to be like friendly and flattering if you're actually trying
to
flatter
yourself.
someone.
And if that's yourself, I feel sorry for you.
Totally. I think those sarcasm, or like that version of sarcasm, because I'm very sarcastic, but not in a like a negative putting down kind of way.
Yeah.
Use it like you want an opening line, give a compliment, but like a genuine
or
compliment.
like if we were friends and I'm taking a picture in front of a restaurant, let's say, right, and you called me, oh my god, like I heard being an Instagram model, I'll laugh at it. Because I don't know you.
Right. You don't know the context of which that comes from.
So the judgment is what the problem is.
Yeah, I was like, because I'm filming her?
Yeah.
Like,
everyone does it. And it's LA.
And people don't know how to act anymore, which is why we have the show to guide you. Okay, guys, we also think you need to accept all invitations. Like we were talking about, how Lauren dragged me out and I had to go meet up with her, which was so much fun, and I'm glad I did. And also I went to that red and green party. Accept invitations. Just
accept invitations.
Go.
I do have
Especially
a
during the
question,
holidays.
though.
Oh, hello.
Yes,
This
Jeff.
is Jeff from the booth. So from
Yes.
a guy's perspective, like I haven't picked up a girl in 5-6
Jeff
years.
just got married, so
Yes.
yeah.
But like, what is a good opening line? Like, let's say you're at a bar and the vibe is like Davey Wayans kind of vibe, like casual. For non-LA listeners, that's like a very just fun,
hipster,
talky bar.
Yeah.
What's the move? Like, what do you actually say as a guy so that you're not creepy or, you know, like you're putting on a line? What's the move?
I would ask a question like, what are you drinking? Or like, what's good here? Or something like that is not a personal thing, like, oh, you're pretty, or like something weird that you don't know what to say.
Don't ever tell a girl, has anyone ever said this to you, Yanina? It bothers me. Why don't you try to smile? Like,
that's
so
basically.
I want to punch you in the face the moment you tell me that.
But,
right. It's not, it gets the adverse effect.
What Brian Howie always says, don't say, why don't you smile? He says to say, is that a smile I see? That's different.
Because it's encouraging instead of like judgmental, which is like already off-putting.
I think that's the thing. Like, don't be judgmental, right? Be like, find something unique in the situation you're in with that person and be like fun. Have fun energy.
I think to me, when you think about it too much is when it's always going to come out wrong. Like, if you are going to ask a question, there's no reason for you to be like, hey, how's it going? And then ask the question, or and ask the question. Like, you've already lost me. You're being corny. Like, just be like, ask the question.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Like, there's no needs to be no preconceived notions of how do I do this, because I sense it instantly. Like,
then you already feel like you're like the pressure to how to respond, and you know what they're doing. I mean, listen, the jig's up. You all know what you're fucking doing. Like, a guy approaches you, you get why. But then if you just try to be as natural and in the moment as you can be, that's probably the name of the game.
So I will say one thing, which I'm still friends with him to this day. I met this guy. He's an Australian guy. I think his name's Thomas. Yeah, Thomas. I met him at what's that? It's the one with like you walk in and it's like the bed, and the bed moves and you go to the back.
Oh,
No Vacancy.
No Vacancy.
Wow.
Okay, so
I
club in Hollywood.
Yes. So I went to No Vacancy, and right after, the place right next to it that goes underground, my friend was performing. So I'm at No Vacancy with my free-spirited friend, it so happens, and her name is Jasmine. So we were there, whatever, and this guy comes up to us and he's like, hey, instantly, he's like, nothing. Hey, quick question. I'm from Australia. You heard his accent instantly. He's like, I'm here with my friend. We're trying to figure out what else to do. What do you, like, is there anything that you guys recommend?
Yes,
like,
smart.
not like
Great.
in a weird tone or nothing. And I was like, instantly I was like, let me see. Well, what have you done? How long are you here for? And I just started talking as a friend.
And instantly you're engaged in a conversation with him.
So when I went to see my friend perform next door, I was like, do you guys want to come with us? Not once did I think like a flirting vibe or anything. From there, then that group left, and then it became a bigger group, and we all went to eat pizza. And at the end of the night, he was like, hey, you guys were really nice. Like, it's very rare to see this. And it was, his vibe was dope. My vibe was dope because he was being himself
no pressure
the whole
and
time.
no pressure.
Yeah, and we're friends on Instagram. Like, I think he's like 2 years younger than me or something, but super sweet guy. He had fun. His friend had fun, and like that was it.
So I think that everyone try to take the pressure off yourself, right? If you're
Yeah.
receiving someone coming up to you in real life, take the pressure off of like how to respond or judging what they're doing. And if you're going up to somebody in real life, take the pressure off of like trying to say a fucking cute little thing and just like ask a real life question, like something you're interested in. Where are you from? Or something, whatever.
And I think that's why I always tell people, and like my friends are like, you're just very old school, that I'm like, I just don't care about like the shit that you guys are doing nowadays. Like, just be your fucking self. Like, what did they do in the 1920s? They freaking talked, because the moment they left, they weren't gonna see you or talk to you anymore on text or on the phone because they had you at that moment. So it's like, just do that. Like, erase the BS. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you have in your pocket. I don't care your credits. I don't care if you're on a TV show. I don't care if you do music. I don't care if you're a dancer or if you're in freaking finance and handle 500,000 million money for people. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like, when you really strip that, who are you? And that's what's going to ultimately sell you to the person, because if it does work out, that's what they're going to have to deal with the rest of their life. So it's like,
it's under what is underneath it all. And if the quicker you can get to that, even if it's in the approaching line,
right? Lead with yourself, because like you're just wasting time otherwise, and also can turn somebody off with the act. So
and then once you guys meet this person in real life that you love so much because you forced yourself to swipe at the right times during the holidays,
or go to that party you were invited to,
or go to that party that you were invited to, Yanina is going to like give us a couple of tips about some of her favorite gifts, because it's the time of year to be giving gifts. And even if you don't have a significant other, there's other people you can gifts for yourself or whoever, and then also maybe next year.
Yeah. Exactly. So we're planning ahead. Okay, so we're going to rattle off a couple people, and you tell us what to get those people. Okay, if you do have a boyfriend, and let's just say serious boyfriend.
Yeah. Like committed relationship. What are some good things to keep in mind to get?
It depends on their personality, for sure. So it's like, a lot of the guys I've dated are into fashion.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of the guys I dated can buy themselves these things. So it's like, how can you personalize it rather than just getting it? Because if they can get those pairs of shoes on their own, or if they can get that jacket, how can you personalize it? Whether it's inside the jacket, whether it's a special, like, if you have a friend that does art, like, can you design the shoe differently, you know? What can you get them to amplify that gift that they can get themselves that adds the emotional touch to it?
Oh my God, the personalization is so cute.
So
like
smart,
inside the jacket or something, like engraving or stitching or something. Oh my God.
Plus, if you ever break up, they're stuck with you forever.
Yep, and they're either going to have to get rid of that jacket or keep it and
always
have it in the back of their
mind. That's right.
Exactly.
Only around for when we're around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else?
Okay, so if you're...
I also like trips for your significant other.
Well, and then you get to go on it.
You get to go on it, and most likely they're going to pay for the rest of the stuff while you're there, especially if you're a girl. But if you present them with the trip, you have the ability to present it to them in a very creative way. So that's a lot of effort besides the money. And then, I think that when it comes to materialistic things for men, especially like in my age, a lot of the time they're successful at this point in their career, hopefully. So they can take themselves on a trip if they wanted to. They can take both of us on a trip. So how can I personalize it? Everything to me is about how can I give them something that they can't give themselves already.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how am I going to present it to you? Why did I choose this place? What's the sentimental reason? Did you ever mention it? Is it like a childhood memory? Is it something that you've maybe showed me on an Instagram post once and I was just like, hey, or was it more like, I feel like you're burnt out at work right now and you really need this? And they'll be like, wow, she listens, she cares.
I was going to say, something to say you're paying, like to show I'm paying attention to you and your needs. And then
you matter, because a lot of the times, like, a man usually has so much stress on his shoulders. So it's like, you're now basically saying, that matters, and I want to take it off and kind of just focus on you for once.
Love that. So oh my God, such great advice.
So great.
Okay.
All right. What about your best friend?
My best friend, probably little stupid stuff. A mixture of like funny and cute. Like, my best friend is from Miami, and she loves makeup, but she has no idea of a lot of stuff for makeup. So whenever she does her makeup, she sends me a picture. So sending her a box full of makeup, because I get so much makeup, and then personalizing it with a cute card, because she is the best person when it comes to birthday cards. She customizes them entirely. Aww. So if I can meet her halfway to that, I know it'll matter a lot to her. So probably something like that, and more that it's like about her and I.
But that's cute though, because you know exactly what she wants, and then you're giving her little tips and stuff.
Like these presents that Lauren gave me.
I have something cute and funny in this little present.
But you always do that, and so that is just wonderful, and I can't wait to open them. Okay, what about yourself, which is the most important person in your life?
You want to I bought myself like 5 presents already.
Yeah.
Black Friday, Jen went crazy.
Oh, bananas.
I think for sure has to be like you did a good job this year kind of gift. That's
A
usually
congratulatory gift.
And it depends on what you like maybe like a nice expensive item, or like whatever it is that you like to splurge on that you don't necessarily always get to splurge on.
Make it special.
Yeah. Or I would probably do a trip.
Even for yourself or for you and your girls or something?
Yeah, something like I'm very much like the giving type, so even if I do a trip, I'm obviously not going to want to go alone, even though it is a mission of me to go on a trip by myself. Like I've put that into the universe. I need to go on a trip by myself just to see what it is like.
I love that. And then you know what that's going to do? That's going to test your ability to be like, to see how your vibe really is, because you don't have anybody to fall back on, to see how welcoming you can be, and like see who
you can be
approaches
independent in business, but that doesn't mean you're independent in life.
Totally
or like
different.
that you're as strong in that, you know.
Two different
I actually think that it is really good to do that as well, because you might go on vacations that you don't enjoy with somebody else because they suggest it, but when you go on a vacation yourself, you get to actually test out what you really prefer and like, and enjoy your time, and like set your preferences. Like some people lose themselves in relationships, but you won't if you actually spend time with yourself.
Yep,
that's right.
So
guys.
we thank you guys for spending time with us, and Yanina, thank you so much for joining us. And there's Mochi.
And there's Mochi. And don't forget to go visit our Amazon page at amazon.com/shop/complicated show, where you can find other great gift ideas. And don't forget to tune in next week, where we get into the holiday spirit even more. We celebrate Jen's birthday, and we find out what planets have in store for us next year with our astrology guy, Sean I'm not going to say his name. Breathwaite. He's going to be here. We're going to talk about astrology and shit. And Jen, where can everyone find you?
At Jennifer Golden on all the social media platforms and at your nearest party.
And everyone can find me at Lauren Leonelli on all the social media platforms. And don't forget to follow us at Complicated Show. And where can everyone find you, Yanina?
Yanina_Oyarzo on all the social media platforms.
Yay!
Lovely.
All
and
right.
we will see you guys next week.
Love you long time.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.